Saturday top-up time, and Gord's a scratching, Glenn. Is that a surprise?
Yeah, no, he had a baby shower or something for men or something, so that means drink, drink, drink. Yeah. He actually sent me a text during the night now that he's organised some sort of $20,000 game of golf. I don't know what he's doing to himself here. With me on his team, I can't hit it. Anyway, do it.
Yeah, he might need to delay that, but you'll get some inspiration from the Masters, I guess. Nonetheless, Newcastle today, they had a shower of rain last night. Unlike Sydney, that doesn't seem to matter because it's the beach up there. Well, a few interesting tactics changes today. And of course, we got through a card last night at Canterbury that looked somewhat promising for Canterbury night racing through the summer, because last year it was just inside Bill. And whilst a few leaders won last night, they did come around them a little bit. So keep an eye on that.
It was much improved.
Mossy has written in the chat room that he's marked the last 7 true rails fair or inside, which I think is interesting. If you're watching Mossy, it's I based my my assessment on this meeting last year, and they do tend to prepare the track. You know, the carnival track, they tend to prepare it the same way each time. So I thought that the size of the field and the leading riders meant that it was more of a running line track than what you've seen. So keep your eye on that. I don't think the first race is going to actually tell us much because their baby's over 900 metres. And I don't think that the betting is telling us much at this stage either. There was a trickle of money fixed odds for Pepper Charlotte, not really reflected. For race 1, there's no clues. And in fact, Glenn, I'd have to say it's not a race that punters would get terribly involved in because they're not city horses. Like every horse is debuting, and they're generally provincial trials. So
yeah,
it's one of those situations where you wouldn't bet up with a lot of confidence. I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't have thought either too much. There's some, looks a nice horse, number 13, and number 1 looks to have a bit of ability, but there could be something hidden in there for sure.
All right, we'll brush that and go on to race 2, which is the highway, and T Stockdale replacing P Scourse. I don't know where P Scourse is, like, doesn't exist these days, does he? Anyway, Stockdale's on number 1, Yulong Night, and fixed odds money for Lord Heron, which is Gord's tip, and What the Fuss, which I must say took me by a bit of surprise. Good yard, Cody Nestor, but fairly well exposed Western Districts horse that has been in a highway before and not exactly covered himself in glory. Have you got anything to add before we move on?
I like Gord's analysis of the race yesterday, watching the previous show, I must admit, more so than my own. But I suppose number 2, it's hard to get a bet on now at like $7. Seems rock bottom now.
Yeah, for sure. For a horse that's resuming off a very long spell.
I'm still interested in King's Truck at $8.60 there, King's Trust.
Yeah. Okay, that's the highway, which is fairly typically opaque. Race 3 is the distance race for the day, 1850, if you can call it that. And Vadian is a little bit longer now than it was. Lure Me In, the fixed odds firmer, not evident there on the Betfair screen. And Fortress Command looks solid there, Glenn.
Yeah, my tip. I just got back from my morning swim, and there's 4,000 girls in bikinis and 2,000 boys in board shorts, and one bloke pounding the street in 3 tracksuits with earplugs in and sweat top to bottom. Mr. Enrawilla, so he's getting himself ready for his first ride of the day. How about you forget about the hard life they have, some of these jocks?
I guess you do. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this favourite.
I think it's $4.80. That's a really good bet, that horse there, Mark, number 6.
Yeah, okay. But the key runner is the Gay favourite that I guess gets well forward.
Looking forward to seeing it in the parade.
There are some numbers in this race, aren't there?
Oh.
Australian Bloodstock 1 and 2 there.
As a card here, I could back at $13 too.
All right, so here's the first surprise of the morning. Superium, have a look at that. Nearly 9,000 matched at this stage, and they were getting into sub $3. It's finding its way out now.
Yeah. I've rethought this race overnight, and I'm definitely going to be all over number 6 here, guys.
And Covered Spirit, which is in fact 11 into 850 on fixed odds.
Bit of a boyfriend, but
or girlfriend anyway.
Girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's Superior's big chance, but it does seem well enough found. Race.
Be very surprised if it wins. I gotta say that.
Yep. Race 5, and here Spirit Ridge is 650 and a 480 fixed, and some money for Shadow Flight, which I guess gets into its preferred distance range for its new stable. Super is the local hope there, and yet again, just a race.
Yeah, Dog's Breakfast. There's 10 horses you can see winning.
Yeah, okay.
10 horses. And another horse I have found having a little bit is it's particularly well in number 15 there, Got Unders. I thought it could run a good race, 40 or 50 to 1.
Cameron winner on this track, has never won at 1600, but has placed 11 times from 14 starts.
Okay.
It's wild, isn't it? So he hasn't won past 1500.
But really got down on the weights for the first time. A lot of times you play this form, it's always 58.5, 59.5. It's got a claim there today. Is it Brock Ryan riding it?
Would be.
He rode a winner last night at 50s. Anyway,
yeah, so anyway,
I'm still I'll be all over 8. It's a race. I'll be against the favourites.
All right. Race 6 is the first of the features. The very fuzzy looking Spring Stakes, where Perfect Radiance is hanging on to favouritism there. The Eleanor and High Supremacy have attracted some support. Yet again, I think that this race is wide open. They're all relatively lightly raced 3-year-olds of some promise, but really no form.
Yeah, I'm still keen on number 3, my best bet of the day, especially on an each way basis, Mark. I spoke to a very good judge last night at the races, and he's all over 6. So.
Okay. Leading stables, I guess. The feature is here, and the emergency's missed out, as you would expect. It's $1 million race. Suddenly they all want, of course, they all want to start. Not a lot evident there. Trumbull's most matched. Rainier is sitting there as the favourite, and Fiesta is the other one under double figures. Game on. Although Sweet Deal not the tactics announcement is it's to be ridden with cover, which
okay, that's interesting.
Wasn't that fast a race to begin with. I guess that that enables the stablemate Cuba to press on from the deep. Imagine that Special Reward would be part of the van as well. The penultimate is the Mares race, where Straub 18,000 matched. Here we go. We've got a whale in the bay here, and yeah, what's going on here? It's the tip of the day by the looks of it, Glenn.
Wow, so interesting.
Yeah, so
I think that's the most we've seen matched this time of day in a long while.
And they took sub 250 there just recently.
Wow.
So yeah, wow, indeed, wow. The other horse of note is Great News, which firmed fixed odds wise, 9 into 6, but longer there on the fair. Enchanted Heart, last start, Rosehill winner, looks to get right out here. Change of tactics on Al Mahiri to go further back. And the nightcap is another change of tactics. John Thompson, Chat to be ridden further back. It was the firmer 13 into 8.5.
Another gala.
Through the cracks, 7,000 match, $3 wanted. What's going on here?
That's the horse we own. But we used to beat every day in the barrier trial in the gallops.
Yeah, so they've taken sub $3 there through the cracks. What the heck?
Wow.
We were speculating on the previous show yesterday that lead up, which carries high-low through the cracks, Edison and Mr. Marathon Man, it was a bit sus.
I won't be winning on through the cracks at $2.70, mate.
Wow. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out today. Those Goldies of you, stay tuned for Mounting Yard Mail from Glenn, and we've got Doomben Mounting Yard Mail coming your way as well. I just realised that I haven't yet emailed out my sets, which I'll do as soon as I stop recording here. Dave Dwyer is betting bobs on most of the main meetings today, and money back in the Hunter if your horse runs second, up to $200 in bonus bets. Anything else, Glenn? I guess
No, best of luck to everybody. It's a deep card, and tread warily, but you might be able to pluck something.
Yeah, and I just noticed that B Baker's sent some horses out there for the $12,000 Bathurst race 1. So
He's
I
a
tell you,
marvel.
he doesn't miss a dollar, does he? All right. So if you haven't tried us, we have been urging you to do that for a very long time. I'll actually stop that share because we don't need that anymore. You really should be part of Racing Rant, because you get the chat room, and Gord apparently caused a bit of commotion in the chat room, tipping a few winners last night at Canterbury. And there's some other very good judges in there. So a subscription gets you entry to the chat room, lots of content, video content, and sets each week, usually 2 sets a week from me, Manning Yard Mail on nearly all Sydney Metro meetings, excepting Friday nights. And you really mad not to be part of the whole shebang. So get on board if you haven't tried us. It's 2 weeks free if you've not tried us before. And the subscriptions are very reasonably priced anyway, $9 a week for all the video content and $29 a week for everything. So if you haven't been with us, give us a lick. We hope to
2 weeks for free. Easy to work out what it costs after that.
Very good. All right, Glenn, I'll let you get settled in, and we hope it goes well today. We'll be back on Monday for the rant.
See you, Mark. See you, everyone.